All right, it's Andreas Hale, senior combat sports writer for the Sporting News, and I'm here with the former middleweight champion of the world, Demetrius Andrade, who's fighting David Benavidez at 168 pounds. Demetrius, how are you doing, and how does it feel to finally have a damn fight in 2023, aside from the one you had earlier this year?
It feels good, man, and this is a big fight for boxing for myself, David Benavidez as well. It's just great that we agreed on things, and now we're ready to tangle.
Let me ask you, how did this come together? Because you have been a man who has been chasing the names for years, and nobody has seemed to want to fight you. How did this fight actually come together?
Yeah, I just came over to this Showtime and told them I'm ready. I'm free, and I'm here to fight whoever it is that we need to get going. And these are the names I'm looking for. Benavidez was one of the names, and of course, this is the time for it to happen. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
So prior to this, you tried to get a fight with Canelo. You've tried to fight all the title holders. You tried to fight everybody. And it seemed like people have said no. At any point during your career, were you getting frustrated and trying to figure out why these guys don't want to fight you?
Yeah, of course you get frustrated, but, I was active at points. I was getting busy. I was, in the ring as often as I can get in there, because it does become a point where it's like I can't keep fighting these same guys over and over and over, which is okay too, because I gotta pay bills. You feel me? At the same sense, I'm keeping it 100. Yeah, it's just like this is my life, boxing. So now is the time for me to get in there with the bigger guy, and that's David Benavidez, and try to be not and then working on what I wanted to do as far as my path in my career. And so we figured moving up to 168, I think it's the best decision. And working on just being free and trying to see who wants to put fights together. And this is the fight that we had opportunity of putting together. So it's great. It took a long time for it to come. I think that it's the perfect time for him, David, and myself. So, it's time to rumble.
But in your mind, is it finally your time? Like, this is long overdue for you. A major fight, 168 pounds, the spotlight's on you, and you get to fight in Vegas, which I was looking back and I was like, damn, you haven't fought in Vegas before. Like, this is a big fight for you.
Yeah, I never fought in Vegas as far as something at this level. I had a fight in Vegas before in my career, but of course, this is the biggest fight in the middleweight, super middleweight division at the end of the day. So, of course, this is it right here. Two guys agreed, and the two best, I would say. I only had one fight, and I'm already the best at 168. Sounds pretty damn good to me. But, I believe this is the best fight at 168. Compared to all the other 68 fights out there.
Even Canelo?
Yeah, this is bigger than Canelo, of course.
Why you say that? Because he's the undisputed guy, but I want to know, because, for a lot of people, I agree. This fight has a lot of intrigue.
I get it. I get that he's undisputed, but he was undisputed because, at the end of the day, I feel like, David Benavidez messed up the situation for him to become undisputed, and he never gave David Benavidez a shot. And so really, he's really the real champion at 168. Yeah, on paper, okay, cool. Canelo did it because David Benavidez missed weight, got stripped, and he became now he's back in the same position as far as champion in the interim. So you can't really say Canelo is the very best when you didn't beat the guy that had the last very belt. And so in my situation, I 54. 60, and now I'm looking to fight 68, which David Benavidez is the champion at 168, the true champion. So, that's why it's the better fight.
I hear you. Now, this fight, styles, and styles make fights, and this is a wonderful clash of styles because Dave is a very pressure fighter who likes to throw a lot of punches. You've always known as a slick boxer, but I've heard you say that you're about to get this man's respect with your power. Do you believe that your power has been vastly underrated throughout your career?
Never. I always put everybody down. I don't know what they're talking about. But at the end of the day, I think my the workouts that me and my team put together, and whatever my body can hold, I think we're doing a great job. And at this point, the time's now. And I believe of course, I have a lot of enough power, soul to like put and to tell anybody to back up.
I like it. How long have you watched David Benavidez throughout your career? Have you kept an eye on him? Did you ever think this was going to be a fight that would cross your path? Because he was so young. You were still moving on your career at middleweight. When does this become a fight that could actually be on your radar? When were you paying attention to him?
I paid attention to David as like a fan sake of boxing, just watching boxing and be like, oh, this David kid is really good. But I was still at, I think, 154, 160 transitioning. I was like, wow, this kid's a big kid. I don't think he's going to be around. Like, he looked like he's going to be going up to 75, cruiserweight 90. Like, he'll seem like, I never seen him in person, but he just seemed like a tall, big kid that can put on weight. But he can still make weight, and I'm going up in weight. And so, therefore, we got ourselves a fight.
Let me ask you, man, pound for pound list is these things that, a bunch of people make them up. I don't know if they mean anything. Does the pound for pound list mean anything to you? And if so, do you think beating David Benavidez has to put you in the upper crust of that pound for pound list?
Yeah, listen, I'm not really worried about, pound for pound, this or that, or that. Cool. I appreciate like the people that appreciate who they feel like is the best fighter in their own magazines and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, this does claim who's the best 168 fighter in the division. And also for myself, I pretty much I'm going to win every belt or every title, not every, like as far as organizations, but 54 champion, 60 I'm a champion, and then 168 I'm looking to, become 3-divisional world champion come November 25th.
It's an obvious question, man, but do you think Canelo wants to fight you if you win this fight? Do you think that fight will happen? Do you think he's going to avoid you?
Of course, a Canelo fight is like the icing on the cake for anybody, But he has the luxury to pick and choose whoever he feels like fighting, and that's just it.
But he remembers you, though. He remembers you. He remembers you crashed at the press conference. I know he remembers payday. He didn't like you calling him out. Do you think he thinks about that after this fight? He was like, man, maybe that's a big fight for me, because there's a storyline there. It's not like you fighting him out the blue. Y'all have some history exchanging words.
No, for sure, definitely. I mean, we got history at 54. We got history at 160. And then this is going to be a part of the history, of course, once this fight happens. And, which direction are they trying to move him? At the end of the day, he can do whatever the he wants to do, because Canelo have that luxury. He don't have to fight me. He didn't have to fight David. He don't have to fight certain people. So nobody can make two dogs fight. But, of course, the people are going to want to push that fight. At the end of the day, win, lose, or draw for David, win, lose, or draw for me. At the end of the day, fighting Canelo for either him or me, myself, we still will beat up Canelo at the end of the day. So if Canelo wants to make those fights happen, I'm open to it.
Demetrius, let me ask you, I got a couple more for you. One, I mean, you've been fighting for a long time, and you're undefeated. Do you think people sometimes forget how good you are? This is the opportunity to remind people that, Demetrius Andrade is one of the best in the world. And just in case you forgot, and just in case you missed my last fight, because you've had some bouts with inactivity, it's not your fault, but things have happened. And people often, when they talk about fighters, some people will say, oh yeah, Demetrius Andrade is one of the best in the world. When's he going to fight again? Is this your opportunity to say, this is a reminder, y'all must have forgot about how good I am?
Yeah, for sure. It's two good elite fighters about to go at it. There's about to be a reminder. There's about to be the best Andrade. There's about to be the best Benavidez. And everybody's going to see and understand why. I have time out, but I believe, myself and the conditioning and the work ethic that I have, that this fight, of course, is going to turn me up a lot more, because I know I'm fighting a real guy as far as the elite guy finally. And so now it's mindset, imagination, and all that stuff is being done and built the way that it's been built before. But it's different when you're not fighting the Billy Joes when got caught and I had to fight the guys, then it's not as Tyson. He's a little lackluster for me too, at the same time. But All I could do is just knock him down, and hopefully something happens. And this is where we are right now.
Last question, Demetrius. It's always, do you give predictions on how this fight goes? What do you see happening? What can fans expect on November 25th when you and David Benavidez?
And the new, and still, and the new, and still, and the new, and still.
The man. I hear you, Demetrius. And we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. So, Demetrius, I appreciate the time, brother. Good luck. Can't wait to see you. I'll be in Vegas, and I can't wait to see this fight. It's one of the biggest fights of the year. And hopefully I get a chance to talk to you after that as well, my friend. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you, man. God bless. Have a good day.
All right.